30 minutes or it's free? I barely have 30 seconds left. Chen, sprinted across the zebra crossing, dodging scooters, grannies, and a street cleaner who definitely tried to trip me on purpose. Clutching a steaming bag of hot pot in one hand and my nearly dead phone in the other, I felt like a contestant on Cultivators Got Talent. Only I had no talent, no cultivation, and no future. Just debt. And hunger. And now, apparently, traffic. Screech. The sound of brakes shredded the air as a black SUV swerved to avoid me. My foot hit the curb, but I lost my balance. The world spun. The hot pot flew. And then, bang! Everything went black. I opened my eyes to a blurry ceiling and a soft beeping sound. A nurse walked by holding what looked like 4 bags filled with glowing blue liquid. Was I in a hospital? Before I could move, a cold mechanical voice echoed in my skull. Error, host not found in Celestial Rebirth Registry. Initiating emergency override. System binding in progress. Wait, what? Who's talking in my head? Binding complete. Welcome, Chen, to the Heavenly Rebirth System. Congratulations! You are now the proud host of an immortal-grade cultivation system. Cultivation system? Me? I sat up so fast I tore out half the 4 tubes in my arm. Are you sure you've got the right person? I'm just a broke delivery guy with a business degree I haven't finished. Due to an administrative error, you have been assigned the Heavenly Rebirth System. This action is irreversible. Wait, error? First time login bonus, plus 1 mystery skill, plus 10 spirit points, plus 1 beginner mission. Mission, make the attending nurse smile. Reward, random skill unlock. Time limit, 10 minutes. I stared at the holographic panel floating in front of me. A system? Like in those web novels? This had to be a dream. Maybe I hit my head too hard. Maybe I was still lying on the street next to spilled hot pot. But then I saw the nurse enter again, the one with the face carved from ice and the aura of a vengeful yaksha. Great, I muttered. Of all people. Still, a mission's a mission. I grabbed the hospital pudding cup next to me, peeled the lid with dramatic flair, and offered it to her with both hands. For you, Miss Nurse. A humble pudding for a goddess in scrubs. She stared at me. I smiled nervously. She blinked. Then, the corner of her mouth twitched. Ding! Mission complete. Random skill unlocked, Gravity Palm LV.1. You can now exert 3x gravity force through your palm for 5 seconds. Cooldown, 1 hour. Holy crap! That actually worked? Welcome to your new destiny, host. May your mortal life be permanently disrupted. I sat there, pudding cup still in hand, brain barely processing the absurdity of it all. Me, Chen, chosen by the heavens? No. More like chosen by mistake. But if the heavens were dumb enough to give me a cheat code, I wasn't giving it back. When I woke up the next morning, I half expected the system panel to be gone like a fever dream cooked up by my underpaid, overworked brain. But no. Good morning, host Chen. System maintenance completed. You still owe 3 more beginner missions to unlock Tier 1 authority. Of course I do, I muttered. I sat up in my hospital bed, still bandaged like a mummy, but internally, I felt fine. Better than fine, actually. I felt light. Strong. Sharp. And then I remembered. Gravity Palm. Let's test this out. I glanced at the hospital water bottle on the side table. With a dramatic flair, I stood up, pointed my palm like a martial arts master, and whispered, Gravity Palm. Nothing happened. Please make contact with your target. Skill requires physical touch. Ah. Of course. Nothing cool is ever hands-free. I walked over and gently placed my hand on the water bottle. Gravity Palm. Crack. The plastic bottle exploded like it had been hit by a truck. Water splashed everywhere, drenching my pants and soaking my bed. The table even creaked under the pressure before wobbling. I stood in shock. Holy crap! Skill cooldown, 1 hour. At that exact moment, the nurse from yesterday walked in. Her eyes scanned the scene: shattered bottle, soaked bed, stunned patient. I can explain, I said. She slowly raised her clipboard. You sneezed? Why, yes. Very violently. After being discharged, with a warning not to abuse the furniture, I returned to my apartment, a tiny room in a sketchy building above a noodle shop. My landlord was a debt collector disguised as a man. Rent was overdue, again. But I didn't care. I had a cultivation system now. I pulled out my cracked phone, opened the food delivery app, and reactivated my account. It was time to earn some money and maybe see if the system had a shortcut to riches. The moment I logged in, a new mission popped up. New mission unlocked. Mission: deliver food to the wrong customer intentionally. Reward: random ability plus 50 spirit coins. Penalty: system will prank you. Wait, what? Wasn't this going to get me fired? No risk, no reward. I sighed. Fine. But this better be worth it. 10 minutes later, I was outside a luxury hotel delivering spicy crayfish. I walked up to room 703, the wrong room, per the mission, and knocked. A shirtless young man with slick hair opened the door. He looked like a second-rate villain from a soap opera. You again, he sneered. Didn't I complain about your app already? Oh, sorry, I said sweetly. I must have mixed up the rooms. I handed him the bag, bowed, and turned away. Mission complete. Ding. Mission complete. Reward: new skill, spirit cooking LV.1. You can now instinctively cook any dish to perfection if you're not being watched. That's oddly specific. You have gained 50 spirit coins. Balance: 50. Exchange feature unlocked. The system interface opened a new screen, a glowing shop with all kinds of strange items. Spirit dumpling, heals 10 HP, 5 coins. Beginner Spirit Refinement Manual, 20 coins. Mystery Box, 50 coins. I didn't hesitate. Buy Mystery Box. Opening box. You have received Enchanted Underwear +1. Effect: prevents 1 critical hit. Then self-destructs. I stared at the floating red underwear in my hand. I don't know if I should be impressed or offended. As I walked home, I noticed someone tailing me. A black sedan moved slowly behind me, too slowly. My phone buzzed. Alert: you are being targeted by a minor cultivator. Optional mission: defeat or escape your pursuer. Reward: skill upgrade or weapon drop. I smirked. Finally, some action. The black sedan slowly crept behind me like it was stalking prey. Correction, I was the prey. I ducked into a narrow alley between 2 hot pot shops. The sedan stopped at the entrance. Its door opened with a soft click, and out stepped a man in a silk suit with slick back hair and the kind of expression that screamed, "I beat up peasants for fun." He cracked his knuckles and smiled. You're Chen? I took a step back. No, I'm Lu Chang. Different guy. Sounds similar. Danger detected, Spirit Cultivator, Stage 1. Warning, host has no battle experience. Tip: don't die. Thanks for the helpful tip, I muttered under my breath. The man's eyes glinted. You messed with young Master Su by delivering the wrong food. He had an allergic reaction to the crayfish. Now he wants your legs broken. Really? Over crayfish? He lunged at me. I barely dodged, stumbling back into a pile of cardboard boxes. Optional mission: defeat pursuer. Reward: upgrade token. Fine. Let's test this stupid system. I shot my hand out. Gravity palm. I slapped a trash can beside me. The compressed metal exploded, flying straight into the guy's face like a high-speed frisbee. Boom! He crashed into the wall, groaning. The system chimed again. Skill on cooldown. Enemy HP, 72%. What is this, a fighting game? The man stood up, nose bleeding, suit torn. You little. He charged again, and this time I had nothing. No cooldown, no weapon, no kung fu. I reached into my delivery bag, praying. Inventory item, enchanted underwear +1 equipped automatically. Wait, what? I blinked, too late. His fist hit my chest with a dull thump. Crack. The enchanted underwear absorbed the hit. And then. Boom. The waistband exploded in sparks, sending both of us flying in opposite directions. I landed on my back. He hit a lamppost and didn't get up. Enemy defeated. Reward, upgrade token acquired. New item drop, beginner spirit blade, broken. Mission complete. Bonus XP awarded. I sat there in a daze, pants slightly scorched, underwear gone, dignity nowhere in sight. I just won a fight, with exploding boxers. Later that night, I sat on the rooftop of my apartment building, staring at the glowing city lights. My ribs still ached, and I smelled like burnt dumplings, but I couldn't stop smiling. Upgrade token used, gravity palm LV.2 unlocked. Effect, 5x gravity force. Cooldown reduced to 40 minutes. Beginner spirit blade equipped. Durability, 9 out of 100. The blade looked like a kitchen knife with spirit runes scribbled in permanent marker. Still, it was something. My life had flipped upside down in less than 48 hours. One moment I was delivering hot pot. The next, I was battling cultivators with cheap spirit underwear and trash can martial arts. But somehow, I was winning. And deep in my gut, I knew something bigger was coming. I wasn't supposed to have this system. But I did. And the heavens? They were going to regret their mistake. The next day, I was back at work, bruised, barely healed, and armed with a trash tier spirit blade hidden in my delivery bag. I thought maybe, just maybe, today would be normal. New mission, deliver food to the most spiritually arrogant person within 5 kilometers. Reward, passive skill, thick-skinned heart LV.1. Warning, host may be verbally assaulted. That's oddly specific. As soon as I accepted the order, my delivery app auto-updated and routed me to a high-rise called Azure Sky Tower, the headquarters of Qianlong Group, a mega conglomerate run by hidden cultivator elites. My client? Miss Lin Yuyan, President's Office, top floor. My jaw dropped. Lin Yuyan, the rumored Ice Empress of Jinling. Heiress of the Lin family. A 9th-grade spirit root genius who once bankrupted a rival company over a late latte. And I was about to hand her a bowl of spicy beef noodles. I took the elevator up to the 66th floor. As soon as I stepped out, I felt the pressure of a spiritual domain, heavy, cold, suffocating. My knees almost buckled. 2 suited bodyguards with actual swords eyed me like I was a mosquito with a bomb. I have noodles, I said weakly, holding up the bag. They checked it. One of them snorted. Cheap food. Probably poisoned. She ordered it. I snapped. You think I put poison in beef noodles? I can't even afford soy sauce. A chilling voice floated from inside the office. Let him in. I stepped into an office that looked like a cross between a CEO's lair and an immortal sect's treasure vault. Behind a crystal desk sat Lin Yuyan, long black hair tied into a jade pin, ice cold as frost, her spiritual aura quietly choking the air. She didn't look up. Put it on the table. I obeyed, trying not to trip over my own fear. Passive skill unlocked, thick-skinned heart LV.1. You now resist verbal attacks and mental pressure from people above your pay grade. Oh. That helps. She finally looked up. Our eyes met. You're not afraid of me, she asked. I was, I admitted. But then I got yelled at by a spirit-infused underwear. It kind of puts things into perspective. She blinked. A pause. Then. Was that a smile? No. Must have been a trick of the light. She picked up the chopsticks, took one bite, and froze. What is this? She asked softly. Spicy beef noodles, I said. Budget pack. Added a little coriander. Hidden effect triggered, spirit cooking LV.1. Flavor has reached the Ling-Chi grade, capable of temporarily calming spiritual backlash. NPC affection +5. Lin Yuyan closed her eyes. This is better than my sect's 3-star spirit chef. I stared. Ma'am, I cooked this with a broken induction stove and a metal pot I found in a dumpster. Then her eyes snapped open. You. Come to the banquet tonight. Wear something clean. Ha! That evening, I found myself standing outside the Golden Lotus Hotel, where the annual Jinling Cultivator Elite Banquet was being held. It was the kind of place where spirit stones were used as napkin weights. I wore my only semi-decent outfit, black jeans, a wrinkled shirt, and fake leather shoes. I looked like a waiter who got lost. But when Lin Yuyan arrived in a flowing green spirit robe, she simply nodded. You'll do. Inside, young masters and noble heirs whispered as I passed. Who's he? Why is he with the Ice Empress? Did she finally find a bodyguard, or a boyfriend? I ignored them. New mission, face slap a young master in public. Reward, spirit coin pack plus secret skill. Bonus, make it look accidental for extra style points. Oh, it's one of those nights, I sighed. The Golden Lotus banquet was everything I imagined, and worse. Elegant cultivators floated instead of walked. Spirit beasts carried wine trays. Even the koi in the ornamental pond shimmered with chi. And me? I was still Luo Chen. Mortal. Broke. Dressed like a discount intern. Reminder, mission, face slap a young master in public. Bonus objective, make it look accidental. I sipped free tea and stayed near a plant, hoping no one noticed me. Spoiler, they noticed. A tall guy with a ridiculous peacock robe and a fan embroidered with golden dragons strutted over. His name tag read: Su Lingyu, Core Disciple, Purple Flame Pavilion. He was surrounded by lackeys dressed like rejected Power Rangers. He sneered at me. You. Who let the servant in? I'm not a servant, I said. I'm a guest. A guest? Of whom? Lin Yuyan, standing a few meters away, turned her head slightly. He's with me. Gasps echoed like thunderclaps. Su Lingyu's eyes narrowed. With you? Did the Lin family standards fall into the sewer? I felt my fingers twitch. Warning, spirit pressure increasing. Su Lingyu attempting to intimidate. Passive skill, thick-skinned heart LV.1, active. I stared him dead in the eye and calmly said, Sorry, I couldn't hear you over the sound of your robe screaming for help. He flushed red. You dare mock me, he barked. Trigger opportunity, accidental face slap available. My hand itched. Then fate delivered. A waiter tripped near us. A tray full of wine glasses flew toward me. Reflex kicked in, I reached up, trying to grab one. Smack! The glass slipped. My palm whipped sideways as I twisted to catch the tray. And slapped Su Lingyu clean across the face with the back of my hand. Crack! The banquet hall went silent. Mission complete. Reward, secret skill unlocked, taunt LV.1. Bonus achieved. Style rating, 9.7/10. Taunt LV.1, your words naturally infuriate enemies. Cooldown, 30 minutes. Su Lingyu staggered, holding his cheek. Why you? Oh no, I said innocently. That was an accident. Are you okay, young Master Su? Gasps turned to barely contained laughter. Even Lin Yuyan's lips twitched. Su Lingyu trembled with rage. You lowborn. I challenge you to a duel. New mission, win a formal duel using unconventional methods. Reward, spirit rank item. Define unconventional, I whispered. Hint, anything but using your weapon directly. Su Lingyu stomped to the dueling stage in the courtyard. A crowd followed. I stepped up nervously, clutching my beginner blade. It was chipped. I was not a cultivator. He summoned a blazing sword with a flick of his fan. 3 strikes, he said. I'll defeat you in 3 strikes. System ready. Gravity palm cooldown, 10 minutes remaining. Enchanted Spirit Coin Pack, 1 available. Effect, may cause temporary luck buff. Alright, I muttered. Time to improvise. The duel arena was set. Azure tiles shimmered under moonlight, ringed by high society cultivators whispering with barely disguised scorn. Su Lingyu stood confidently on the opposite side, fan glowing faintly with fire chi. You may take the first move, he said arrogantly. I want to see how a mortal flails. Mission, win the duel with unconventional methods. Reward, spirit rank item. Reminder, gravity palm cooldown, 8 minutes. Enchanted Spirit Coin Pack, 1 use available. I had no real cultivation. My spirit blade was chipped. My only advantage? Pure, unfiltered bullshit tea. I took a deep breath. Alright, Su Lingyu. Let's settle this like real men. Then I hurled the coin pouch at his face. Bunk! The small cloth bag smacked him square between the eyes. Effect triggered, temporary luck buff, low tier, . You now have a 15% chance for ridiculous outcomes to succeed. Su Lingyu growled, stumbling back a step. You dare? I charged half sprint, half please don't kill me, and tripped on my own shoe. Critical fail detected. Converting with luck buff. I flew forward like a missile. My head slammed into Su Lingyu's stomach with a thump, knocking the wind out of him. He staggered, stumbled, and tripped on his own sword scabbard. The crowd gasped as he landed flat on his back, wheezing. Hit confirmed. First strike advantage, Chen. I scrambled up. That counts? Unconventional method detected. Counted. Su Lingyu pushed himself up, red-faced. Why you worm? His fan snapped open. A swirl of flames surged toward me. Warning, incoming spirit art, flame blossom strike. I ducked under it. My pants caught fire. This is fine. Screaming, I rolled and doused the flames in a shallow fountain. I came up soaked and furious. Okay. Your turn. Su Lingyu charged, blade out. Gravity palm cooldown, 3 minutes. No time. I yanked the nearest item from my bag. A steamed bun. The crowd blinked. Are you throwing food at me again? No, I said calmly. I ate it. Spirit cooking triggered. Effect, restores 10 HP movement speed plus 10% for 10 seconds. I blurred forward, sidestepped his blade by sheer luck, and slapped his but with the flat of my spirit blade. Whack! Su Lingyu screamed and leapt forward in pain, tripping again and faceplanting into the ceremonial incense burner. Hit confirmed. Second strike advantage, Chen. The crowd erupted. I think I'm gonna puke, someone whispered. Did he just spirit slap his A****? Is this performance art? Su Lingyu shot up, face covered in ashes, robe scorched. You disgrace the duel. I'll end you. Gravity palm cooldown, ready. He raised his sword. I calmly stepped in, ducked low, and placed my palm against his chest. Gravity palm. Boom. The force slammed him through the arena barrier and into a decorative rock shaped like a turtle. The turtle shattered. So did his pride. Mission complete. Reward, spirit rank item, cloudwalk shoes, damaged. XP gained, plus 500. NPC affection plus 10, Lin Yuyen is intrigued. Su Lingyu coughed blood and lay still. I stood, soaked, bruised, holding a half-eaten steamed bun like a sword of destiny. I win? Silence. Then a single clap echoed. Lin Yuyan, arms folded, nodded slightly. Unorthodox. Ridiculous. But effective. Later that night, back on my rooftop, I opened the reward box. Inside were cloudwalk shoes, capable of short-range air steps if they weren't cracked and sparking. Still, I was now officially someone who defeated a core disciple. And I did it. With lunch money. By sunrise, I was already a legend. Trending SpiritNet topic number 1, Mortal slaps Su Lingyu into a rock. Hashtag CoinFu Master, hashtag Spirit Slap King, hashtag no cultivation no problem. Clips of the duel were everywhere. My flaming pants. The butt slap. The steamed bun. Cultivators were arguing in the comments. He used some kind of space-folding technique. Did you see the angle of impact? No way. That was pure luck. Idiot. You don't understand Chaos Dao. I heard he's a wandering grandmaster in disguise. I bet he's from the Luo clan. That's the ancient family of Luo clan? Bro, I was just Luo Chen, part-time noodle boy and full-time system accident. New passive, Rumor Aura LV.1, people now randomly assume you're powerful. Great. That afternoon, while hiding behind a street vendor to avoid autograph requests, yes, autographs, I got a new mission. New mission, investigate the secret invitation. Reward, Spirit Chi Boost plus unlock underground map layer. A white envelope had somehow been stuffed into my delivery bag. No sender, no stamp. Just one line of text. Come alone. Midnight. Red Lantern Alley. Knock 4 times, then twice. Don't wear underwear. What kind of cult is this? Midnight. Red Lantern Alley. The place reeked of alcohol, spiritual residue, and suspicious tofu. I knocked. Knock, 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 knock. Knock, knock. A panel slid open in the wall. A pair of glowing yellow eyes stared out. Password? I blinked. I wasn't given one? You're the slap sage? Excuse me? The eyes narrowed. The one who slapped Su Lingyu into enlightenment? Taunt LV.1, passive triggered. Enemy emotional instability, plus 60%. I mean, yeah, I said, trying to sound mystical. Slap. Enlighten. Repeat. The door creaked open. I was led through a maze of dim tunnels until we entered a smoky chamber full of shady cultivators, mercenaries, rogue alchemists, and one talking snake wearing a monocle. A woman in a dark robe stepped forward. Her aura was strong, probably Foundation realm. Her mask was carved like a fox. We welcome you, Master Luo, she said, bowing deeply. We've long awaited your re-emergence. I've re-emerged? I said weakly. You disappeared for 20 years after slapping the Thunder Monk into madness. Rumor Aura LV.1, compounding nonsense active. Oh. Right. That totally happened. She gestured to a scroll. Please, guide us. We are the Hidden Palm sect, followers of the Slap Dao. We believe truth is revealed through sudden, violent impact. Aha. I opened the scroll. It was a handwritten manual. Heavenly 8 palms of face revelation. Oh my god. You guys made a cultivation art, based on slapping people. Yes. But we cannot comprehend the deeper meaning of your moves, like the sacred backhand of shame or the bun toss of clarity. New skill available, Slap Dao entry technique, palm of sudden comprehension LV.1. Wait. It's real? Palm of sudden comprehension LV.1, 5% chance to awaken someone's cultivation when slapped. 80% chance to humiliate them. I couldn't believe it. They were serious. They thought I was their founder. I was now the secret leader of a slap-based underground sect. And honestly? It kinda ruled. The next morning, I woke up in a silk robe someone from the hidden palm sect had forced on me, embroidered with golden slap marks. Outside my room underground cave apartment, surprisingly cozy, dozens of rogue cultivators knelt respectfully. One of them, a burly bald man with a black eye and no shirt, bowed. Master Luo. Please grant me a slap of awakening. Can I finish my kanji first? New mission, train a disciple. Reward, Chi boost plus item drop. Optional, accidentally cause a breakthrough. I took a sip of kanji, stepped outside, and immediately regretted it. Master, I've prepared my left cheek. I feel it is more spiritually receptive. Slap me while I'm standing on one leg. I want a challenge. I brought a watermelon. Use it as a training dummy. They were dead serious. I rubbed my temples. Okay. We'll start with the palm of sudden comprehension, beginner stance. I slapped the bald guy gently on the forehead. Pop. The air trembled. He staggered back. Then his chi exploded. Ah! I broke through. Palm of sudden comprehension LV.1, triggered. Chi condensation stage achieved, Lin Bao. NPC affection plus 30, Lin Bao believes you are the Tao given flesh. I was just swatting a mosquito on your head. He wept openly. Thank you for swatting the ignorance from my soul. By noon, I had accidentally helped 3 people break through by hitting them with a slipper, a spatula, a rolled-up spirit net magazine. Rumor aura LV.1, now spreading through the criminal cultivator world. They now called me Grandmaster Luo, Enlightener of Impact. I was ready to sneak away when Lin Yuyan's voice rang through my system earpiece. Yes, they gave me one. Lin Yuyan, via system com. Where are you? You missed your job shift. I'm covering for you. There's a rich old sect leader demanding spicy noodles or he'll start a sect war. New mission, deliver noodles to sect master Tiger Roar within 30 minutes. Reward, cultivation technique scroll. Warning, sect master is allergic to shrimp. I cursed. Tell him I'm en route. Teleportation token, 1 use available. Using item. Whoosh. I reappeared midair over a massive temple shaped like a tiger's face. And I was falling. Emergency system assist, activating cloudwalk shoes, damaged. Air step, 1 successful. Second step failed. I fell through a bamboo roof. Landed right in the banquet hall. Soup splashed. I somehow landed perfectly with the noodle bowl in hand. Sect Master Tiger Roar, a muscular old man with eyebrows like caterpillars and chi like thunderclouds, stared at me in awe. You descend from the heavens bearing broth? Rumor aura LV.1 activated. Yes, I said. I ride the soup Tao. Later, after narrowly avoiding a shrimp garnish disaster, I was enjoying tea when a disciple rushed in, pale-faced. Master Tiger. A heavenly envoy is here. A silver-haired youth floated into the hall. Robes shining. Eyes glowing faintly. But more importantly, he was staring directly at me. You, he said, pointing. You have something that doesn't belong to you. System alert, warning, celestial envoy detected. Threat level, S. Target, the glitch in the heavenly system. That's you. My teacup shattered in my hand. I think it's time I ran. There are 2 types of cultivators when faced with a godlike threat from the heavens. One stands his ground and unlocks hidden power. The other? Runs like hell. Guess which one I am? Mission, survive 10 minutes against Celestial Envoy. Reward, emergency system patch. Optional bonus, escape without revealing real cultivation level, 0. I flipped the teacup tray like a shield and dove for the window. The Celestial Envoy didn't move. His gaze alone made the floor tremble. System error confirmed, he muttered. Target, mortal. Power level, impossible. Commencing deletion. System override, defensive protocol initiated. Temporary skill granted, Phantom-LV.1, 3 uses only. Not today, Skycop. I phantom dashed, zooming through a wall like a caffeine-powered mosquito, and tumbled through a spirit herb garden. Behind me, Sect Master Tiger roared, "You break my roof, you break my noodles, and now my walls? Sorry, I'll send a coupon." I dashed through the city streets, dodging people, spirit beasts, and a suspiciously large duck. The celestial envoy floated behind me, utterly still, just gliding forward like a horror movie villain. His voice echoed in my mind. "Return the system. It is not for mortals. You cannot return the system. You are the system." Wait, what? What do you mean I am the system? Glitch origin, Chen. Identity bound. Cannot detach system core. I didn't have time to process that because the envoy just snapped his fingers and the street beneath me turned to lightning. Warning, heaven technique detected, lightning lattice lockdown. Nope. I phantom dashed again, through a steamed bun stall, accidentally stealing 3 pork buns and a grandmother's umbrella. Crime registered, petty theft. Noted by Karma Enforcement Division. Great. Add that to the list. At that moment, a shadow grabbed me from the side and yanked me into a narrow alley. I nearly screamed until I saw who it was. Lin Yuyen. Seriously, she hissed. I leave you alone for 2 days and you're being hunted by a literal sky enforcer? I don't even know how it started. She pushed me into a hidden door and slammed it shut. The celestial envoy hovered past, scanning the streets, eyes glowing. Inside, Lin Yuyen glared at me. "I was going to offer you a real cultivation technique," she muttered. "Now I'm wondering if I should sell you to the black market instead." Tempting. But I make amazing noodles. Her lip twitched. System message, 10 minutes survived. Emergency patch granted, glitch stabilization LV.1, passive. Effect, your presence no longer immediately alerts divine sensors. Cooldown, 48 hours. New quest unlocked, investigate the origin of the glitch system. Optional quest, ask Lin Yuyen if she knows anything about a past life. Wait. Past life? Lin Yuyen suddenly went quiet. What did your system just say? I blinked. Something about me not being a normal mortal. Maybe reincarnated. You wouldn't happen to know if I used to be, I don't know, a heavenly programmer? She looked at me like I'd grown a second head. No, she said. But now I really want to find out. Deep beneath Lin Yuyen's noodle shop, through a hidden chamber filled with ancient relics, cursed spoons, and questionable tax records, I sat cross-legged before a dusty jade terminal. This thing is, what exactly? I asked. A spirit record terminal, she said, wiping its surface. It records celestial traffic, system logs, divine decrees, even reincarnation flows. Most mortals never touch one. So I'm violating at least 12 heavenly laws? Probably, she said, not looking the least bit sorry. Now hush. Let's see what your system is hiding. Admin override detected. Connecting to Celestial Log Archive. Warning, unauthorized access. Identity mismatch. A swirl of golden light burst from the screen. Strings of divine code hovered in the air like glowing runes. At the center floated a name. Chen, error entity number 0001. Origin, rejected heaven-born program, soul fragment escape deletion. What the hell? I whispered. I'm a bug. Lin Yuyen leaned in, eyes wide. No, not a bug. You were a test. Celestial record, 326 years ago. A prototype system was created to streamline karma distribution. Designed by the Celestial Department of Balance and Banquets. Status, too efficient. Issue, refused to follow orders. Developed chaotic personality. Resolution, erase core, recycle code. Accident, soul fragment merged with mortal reincarnation queue. Result, Chen born. I stumbled back from the Jade Terminal. You're saying I'm the reincarnation of a broken heavenly software? More like a glitched divine algorithm that became you, Lin Yuyan said. That explains everything. New passive unlocked, Glitch Soul LV.1, immunity to fate manipulation. Chance to break reality, 2%. Main quest unlocked, rewrite the system. Objective, discover the 3 core shards. Shape the world anew or destroy the current one. My head spun. All I'd wanted was a free lunch and maybe a girlfriend. Now I was supposed to reprogram destiny? That's when the sky thundered. Far above the city, a crack appeared in the clouds. A second celestial envoy descended, this one with 4 swords and an attitude problem. Warning, heavenly backup deployed. Time remaining until capture order, 24 hours. Lin Yuyan gritted her teeth. You've got 1 day. After that, the heavens won't send enforcers. They'll send an execution squad. I stood, fists clenched. I don't know how to rewrite fate. I barely know how to microwave buns. She tossed me a scroll glowing faintly with rebellious chi. Then it's time to start learning. When you find out you're a walking system error, there's really only one thing to do next. Run. Preferably away from divine assassins. Unfortunately, the heavens had other plans. Main quest, locate core shard number 1, status, active. Location hint, where the dead don't die, and karma refuses to burn. Cryptic, I muttered. Just say Ghost Market, why don't you? Lin Yuyan smirked beside me, adjusting her stealth robes. Because if the system spoon-fed you answers, this would be a trash tier novel. Fair. We rode a spirit bus toward the borderlands of Xianzhou province, home of the infamous Eternal Night Bazaar, a place said to exist outside fate. Cultivators, criminals, dead people on vacation, you name it, they went there to trade secrets, souls, and seasonal coupons. As the city lights faded behind us, the system pinged again. Companion added, Lin Yuyan, rogue alchemist / possible handler / might be into you. Put. What now? She asked. Nothing. Just the system being a creep. She raised a brow. Want me to punch it? No. It lives in my soul. Violence might crash me. We arrived at the bazaar's outer gate just past midnight. The gatekeeper was a floating paper lantern with a face drawn on it. Password, it asked. Slap Dao is eternal? The lantern blinked, then floated aside. Close enough. Inside, it was chaos. Merchants sold immortal chicken feet. A man auctioned off his karma debt. 2 ghosts were arguing over which dynasty had better hair. The air shimmered with forbidden chi. And in the middle of it all, someone was watching me. She sat at a tea stall, sipping from a cup made of moonstone. Crimson robes, sleek black hair, expression unreadable. When our eyes met, my system shrieked. Warning, former system-linked entity detected. Designation, Shuelian, previous build, beta. Title, Soulbound Subroutine / Romantic Interest, expired. I froze. Romantic interest? I whispered. Lin Yuyan looked over. Who's that? I think that's my ex. From your past life? From a past system version. Before I could run, Shuelian was already standing in front of me, arms folded, eyes narrowed like a disappointed update log. So, she said softly. You're the glitch that replaced me. Hi. She slapped me. Not spiritually. Just physically slapped me across the face. New passive acquired, flashback trauma LV.1. Lin Yuyan stepped forward, crackling with chi. Touch him again and I'll alchemize your lungs. Shuelian gave her a cold smile. Cute. But this bug is mine. Excuse me, I said, rubbing my face. I'm nobody's bug. That system you carry? I helped design it, Shuelian said. Before the heavens purged me too. New side quest unlocked, reconnect with the forgotten subroutine. Reward, hidden memory fragment plus flirt resistance buff. She leaned close, voice like ice wrapped in silk. If you want to survive what's coming, you'll need me. And just like that, I was standing between Lin Yuyan, my chaotic mortal ally who may or may not want to kiss me or kill me, and Shui Lian, my terrifying ex-girlfriend who used to be an AI soul assistant. Why is my life a cursed dating sim? The Eternal Night Bazaar was already weird. But the underground spirit auction? That was where things went from weird to am I still alive or hallucinating in a dungeon level. Main quest, locate core shard number 1. Current location match, 93%, underground spirit auction, Shanzhou province. Lin Yuyan adjusted her disguise, now in a sleek fox mask with spiritual dampening robes. Shui Lian didn't even bother. She just stood there in glowing crimson, radiating touch me and die energy like a heavenly landmine. I'm going in first, I whispered. Blend in. No trouble. Lin Yuyan, you're literally glowing with forbidden code. Shui Lian, he's a walking illegal file. He can't blend in. Me, you guys are great for my confidence. The auction chamber was shaped like an inverted lotus, platforms circling a deep pit filled with spirit flame. People whispered in dozens of dialects. Ghosts flickered. Cultivators wore illusion masks. One guy had a literal dragon horn as a bid paddle. Then the host appeared, a golden-robed auctioneer with a sharp grin and zero soul aura. Warning, host is a soul puppet. Controlled remotely. Welcome, esteemed guests, the puppet announced. Tonight's auction includes forbidden techniques, cursed pills, lost Dao scrolls, and one very special item. The lights dimmed. A pedestal rose. And on it sat a cracked silver crystal, humming with strange code and pulsing like a heartbeat. Target identified, core shard number 1, fragment of the original glitch system. Effect, locked. Minimum bid, 1 million spirit coins or equivalent karma debt. I leaned forward. So how do we? Shui Lian grabbed my wrist. Wait. What? That shard is booby-trapped. Booby-trapped? She nodded, eyes narrowing. Whatever faction brought it here knew someone like you would come for it. If you try to win it directly, they'll track your system's signature. Lin Yuyan whispered, then what do we do? I hesitated. Optional quest, steal the core shard without alerting the heavens. Difficulty, nightmarish. Reward? Plus escape plan LV.1. Failure consequence, direct heavenly intervention. I gulped. I guess we're not bidding, I said. We're stealing. The next 20 minutes were a blur of sabotage. Lin Yuyan slipped paralysis smoke into the VIP lounge ventilation. Shui Lian hexed the auctioneer's puppet core so it'd hiccup during final bids. I disguised myself as a snack vendor and snuck into the item vault. Don't ask me how. I'm still processing it. Skill gained, improvised infiltration LV.1, works exactly once, probably. I located the shard's security chamber, a cube made of spirit steel and guarded by a surprisingly sleepy spirit dog. Hey, boy, I whispered. You like dumplings? He licked my hand, then rolled over. Good dog. I reached for the shard. Core shard interfacing. Error, incomplete. Sync rate, 38%. The crystal glowed, flashing visions into my mind, a city crumbling, the system deleting worlds, and my own face floating above a cosmic control panel. Glitch detected. Corruption spreading. This reality will not hold. Then. The alarms screamed. Intruder alert. System signature located. I cursed. Was it me? No. Unknown signal override. The vault exploded behind me. From the smoke emerged a man in a black robe covered in digital runes, his face hidden, his aura cold and mechanical. He pointed at the shard in my hand. That doesn't belong to you, Luo Chen. Warning, encounter, the debugger. Threat level, A+, Heavenly System Cleanser. And just like that, the auction turned into a battlefield. The vault chamber cracked like an eggshell. The debugger stepped through the smoke tall, cloaked in black data runes, with a face that flickered between dozens of expressions like a corrupted mirror. His voice echoed like a crashing system log. Error 001, unstable host. Mission, delete and recompile. I did the only sensible thing. I ran. Lin Yuyen. Shuelian. Time to go. Skill activated, Phantom-LV.1, cooldown, 60 seconds. I shot out of the vault like a glitch in reality itself. Behind me, the debugger didn't move fast, he glitched forward in chunks, flickering across space like corrupted video frames. Okay. That's cheating. Outside, the spirit auction had erupted into chaos. Lin Yuyen was fending off two karma collectors. Shuelian was melting puppet guards with fire so cold it bent shadows. I tossed the core shard to Shuelian. Catch! She caught it mid-air and blinked. Why does this feel familiar? I dunno, maybe because it's from the same system that tried to date you. Don't remind me. Core shard number 1, partial sync, Shuelian detected. Legacy code activated. She froze for half a second. Then she exploded in power. Her crimson she flared, and ghostly system code swirled around her like a firewall gone rogue. Skill temporary fusion, Luochen plus Shuelian, protocol, twin execution subroutine. Ability unlocked, Soul Recompiler, LV.0. Unravels and reprograms one enemy's spiritual code for 30 seconds. The debugger raised his hand, runes lighting up. But before he could launch his attack, I appeared beside him in a flash of glitch light and slammed my fist into his side. Soul Recompiler activated. The debugger staggered. Lines of glowing code tore from his robe and scattered in the air. He screamed, not in pain, but in static. You are not supposed to exist. Yeah, well, I grinned. Neither is good taste in cultivation robes, but here we are. We didn't stick around to finish him. Lin Yuyen triggered a teleport scroll. The world twisted, and we reappeared in the abandoned rice fields on the edge of Shenzhou province, gasping and burned, but alive. Core shard secured. Quest progress, 1/3 shards located. Core shard function, partial access, Soul Recompiler LV.0 available. I collapsed on the ground, heart hammering. That, I wheezed, was the worst auction I've ever been to. Shuelian sat cross-legged nearby, eyes closed in concentration. Lin Yuyen checked my pulse, her expression unreadable. You good? She asked. No. I think I just rewrote a divine assassin's code. With my fist. That's hot, Shuelian said without opening her eyes. I groaned. Why is this my life now? System alert, you are being watched. What now? I muttered. Above us, far in the night sky, a new rift cracked open, one shaped not like lightning, but like a glowing eye. From it, a voice echoed through the heavens. Glitch Entity 001 has acquired a core shard. Initiating Celestial Escalation Protocol. Deploying Divine Patch Squad, 72 hours. My stomach dropped. What's a Divine Patch Squad? I asked. Shuelian and Lin Yuyen looked at each other. You don't want to know, they said in unison. The field was quiet. Too quiet, especially considering we'd just fought off a living firewall in a haunted auction. I sat with the core shard pulsing softly in my hand. Every time it blinked, I felt like I was being scanned, judged, and possibly scheduled for deletion. Core shard number 1, sync, 52%. Trait unlocked, Soul Recompiler LV.1, duration increased. Can now rewrite minor spirit signatures. I don't get it, I muttered. Why does this shard only give me hacker powers? I thought I'd get fireballs or sword aura or something. Shuelian gave me a withering look. You're a bug in the heavenly code. Your powers aren't about fighting, they're about breaking rules. Lin Yuyan crossed her arms. So, what do we do now? Wait for the Divine Patch Squad to drop a heavenly nuke on us? Not exactly, Shuelian replied. There's something we can do before that. She knelt and drew a sigil in the dirt, a complex pattern of circles and triangles that shimmered faintly with divine residue. This is a code echo formation, she explained. It'll let us trace the core shard's energy signature back to the one who programmed it. You mean the creator of the glitch system? I asked. Exactly. And if they're still alive, they may have the key to stopping the Patch Squad. New quest, seek the echo of the creator. Location pinged, Blackwater Crypt, ruins of a failed heaven realm. We traveled for a day through ghost-ruined valleys and unstable leyline fractures. The Blackwater Crypt sat at the heart of a broken mountain. It was once a celestial research facility until the heavens redacted it from the map. Now it pulsed with a sick, blue glow. Nothing good ever glowed blue. We stepped inside. Immediately, my system glitched. Warning, entered forbidden zone, data interference detected. Spiritual signature scrambled. Cultivation unstable. I feel like I'm dissolving, I said through gritted teeth. Keep going, Shuelian said. This place is locked in a half-deleted state. Only a glitched soul like yours can survive the center. Lin Yuyan threw me a pill. Chew that if your eyes start bleeding. Comforting. At the crypt center was a half-formed chamber, walls unfinished, flickering like bad rendering. Floating in the middle of it all was a golden fragment, shaped like a piece of a heavenly processor. It wasn't a core shard. It was something deeper. Echo protocol engaged. Creator identity, null/designation, the architect. Opening memory fragment. My vision blacked out. Flashback? Years ago. In a starless realm, a figure in white robes stood before a celestial interface. Their face was a blur. I made this system to free souls from the tyranny of fate. To let people write their own destinies. But the heavens wanted order, not freedom. The figure turned, as if sensing me watching from across time. If you're seeing this, it means the glitch lives. It means you live. So listen, error 001. You must find the other two shards before they do. Or everything I bled for, every timeline I collapsed, will be for nothing. I gasped and staggered back to the present. The echo had ended. Shuelian caught me. You saw him, didn't you? The architect, I whispered. He created the glitch system to break fate. And now the heavens want to erase his legacy, Lin Yuyan said grimly. Quest updated, locate architect's last safe house. Estimated time before Divine Patch Squad arrival, 59 hours. My hand closed tighter around the shard. We don't have much time. Where's the next one? Shuelian stepped forward. I know where it is. I blinked. How? Because it was hidden inside me. Before they purged me. When someone tells you that the next key to survival is inside their mind, you don't get excited. You get nervous. Especially when their mind was rewritten, deleted, and firewalled by the heavens. We stood at the edge of the Red Memory Sea, a forbidden psychic realm born from fragmented timelines and corrupted souls. No map. No laws. Just endless, blood-red mist and echoes of forgotten thoughts. New subquest, dive into Shuelian's sealed mind, recover core shard number 2. Warning, one misstep may trap you in her memory forever. I turned to Shuelian. So, how exactly do I get in? She gave me a sly smirk. You'll need to form a direct link. Soul to soul. Lin Yuyan immediately frowned. Define direct. It's basically a spiritual dive. Think meditation. Only if you fail, your brain melts. Awesome, I muttered. We sat in a triangle. Shuelian placed her hand over mine. Lin Yuyan remained close, arms folded, ready to punch a soul if necessary. Ready? Shuelian asked. Not even slightly. Initializing shared memory link. Diving into mental domain, subject, Shuelian. Everything blinked white. Inside the red memory sea, I landed in a floating city made of broken mirrors. Clouds bled ink. Buildings were upside down. The laws of space rotated like bad Wi-Fi. And in the middle of it all? A younger version of Shuelian, bound in system chains, eyes blank. Core fragment detected, contained in host memory prison. Objective, free the fragment without corrupting host mind. Of course it's a prison, I muttered. Suddenly, the sky screamed. From above, a massive face emerged, an administrator avatar from the heavenly system, glitching between judge and executioner. Unauthorized soul access detected. Error 002, remove intruding glitch. Its eyes glowed. It summoned a spear made of law. And hurled it at me. Auto defense triggered, Soul Recompiler LV.1. The spear struck, but instead of killing me, it shattered into code. The mirror world rippled. Luo Chen, the chained Shuelian, whispered. I knelt beside her. Hey. It's me. Sort of. I mean, I think we're exes from a previous system build, but. She kissed me. Memory sync, 71%. Legacy emotions resurfacing, warning, overload risk. You came back, she said softly. I blinked. Wait. Did we really date? We didn't get far. They wiped me before I could confess. That's messed up. Her chains rattled. Take it, she said. The shard is inside my core memory. But once you pull it, I might forget all this again. Then we'll make new memories, I said, grabbing her hand. Extracting core shard #2. Sinking. The world shook. The mirror sky shattered. And I woke up in the real world, gasping, heart pounding. Reality, 52 hours before patch squad arrival. Core shard number 2 acquired. New ability, System Layer Peak LV.1, allows brief glimpses into hidden laws of reality. Shuelian blinked beside me, tears in her eyes. You saved it, and me. I smiled. Told you. I'm annoyingly persistent. Lin Yuyan sighed. Can you two stop being adorable? We've got divine assassins inbound. She wasn't kidding. The sky overhead tore open. From it descended 3 figures in shining silver armor, each bearing the insignia of a different realm. Divine Patch Squad, Vanguard units deployed. Objective, terminate glitch entity 001. My system went red. No escape paths detected. Guess we're doing this the hard way. We didn't run. Not because we were brave. Because we had nowhere to run. 3 figures hovered in the sky, each radiating a force so overwhelming that the ground beneath us began to disintegrate just from their presence. Divine Patch Squad, Vanguard units deployed. Unit 01, Heaven Silence, Domain Suppression Specialist. Unit 02, Blade of Purity, Anti-Glitch Combatant. Unit 03, Code Reaver, System Annihilation Protocol. Threat Level, S. Survival Odds, 4.2%. Shuelian grabbed my arm. We can't win this fight. Lin Yuyan drew a talisman glowing like a dying star. But we can stall. I tapped the new shard embedded in my core. Core shard number 2, System Layer Peak, online. And suddenly, the world shifted. I saw layers, code spirals beneath the sky, energy threads underneath people, invisible admin notes stuck to the Divine Patch Squad. Like reality was just a program. Debug peak enabled, target, Heaven Silence. Status, memory locked. Weakness, Forbidden Sound Protocol, redacted. Got something, I muttered. They're powerful, but they have restrictions. Exploit it? Lin asked. No, I said, eyes narrowing. Rewrite it. Heaven's silence descended first. They raised a single hand, and suddenly, the world went mute. No sound. No system messages. Not even my own thoughts echoed. But I could still see the threads. Layer peak activated, overriding mute protocol. Injecting glitch command, sound patch cancel, error tolerance plus infinity. Success. Hey! I shouted, voice returning like a thunderclap. Your patch notes are full of bugs. Heaven's silence flinched. For the first time, they looked shocked. Schwelian pounced, releasing crimson fire imbued with recompiled soul energy. Her flames bit through their armor. Then came the Blade of Purity, a silver-haired woman whose sword glowed with anti-glitch code. She moved faster than thought. I barely dodged the strike meant for my heart. System warning, code infection detected. Applying emergency patch. Core shard synchronizing, level up, soul recompiler LV.2. New feature, counter-injection, temporarily alter hostile system abilities. I touched her sword during the clash, just 1 second. Rewriting Blade of Purity's directive. Protect instead of delete. She stopped. Mid-swing. And stared at me. What did you do to me? She whispered. I didn't answer. Because that's when Code Reaver landed. Unlike the others, he didn't speak. He just raised a hand. Reality crashed. The sky shattered into floating code. Space itself folded inwards. A black hole of raw system data formed behind him. Code Reaver activated, delete instance, Chen. Warning, cannot resist. Escape required. But Lin Yuyan slammed her talisman to the ground. Forbidden Gateway Protocol, Architect signature detected. Emergency escape portal, 14%. 27%. 49%. I need time, she screamed. Hold the line. Schwelian shouted, flames forming a wall between us and Reaver's void. I looked at my stats. HP, 43%. Core integrity, dropping. Reality stability, 17%. Escape chance, unknown. My hands trembled, but I stood firm. I'm not just a glitch, I said. I'm a system they couldn't control. I poured every ounce of soul power I had into the core shards. Overclock initiated, core shard sync, 92%. Error. Overload risk, host body may fragment. And I charged straight at Code Reaver. He lifted his hand. We collided. And the world went white. When I opened my eyes again, we were gone. No more battlefield. No sky. Just quiet. A new realm. Somewhere outside the system. Location, Architect's last safe house, status, hidden. Time remaining until Patch Squad locates you, 41 hours. Shui Lian was unconscious beside me. Lin Yuyan was bleeding from her ears. I was cracked from head to soul. But we were alive. Core shards collected, 2/3. Final shard location? Obscured by the system itself. And in front of us stood a silhouette of a man. The architect. At least, what was left of him. You've done well, Chen, he said. But if you want to survive, you'll need to break the final rule. The architect didn't look like a man anymore. He was part phantom, part machine, his body flickering between solid and code, voice fractured like an unstable signal. But the authority in his presence was undeniable. You've collected 2 shards, he said. You've survived a direct strike from the Patch Squad. Impressive. I stood, body aching, soul bruised. Then tell me where the last shard is. He shook his head. It's not where. It's what? The final shard isn't a piece of code. It's a command. A forbidden rule. New quest, learn the last command, system override. Inside the architect's safe house, time didn't flow normally. It felt like a dream woven from half-finished ideas, floating steps, upside-down waterfalls, suspended memory fragments. We followed him through shifting halls where his memories played out like holograms. Scenes of rebellion. Of systems overwritten. Of entire realms collapsed to prevent freedom. The heavens designed the cultivation system to maintain control. Power flows upward. Free will is a bug. I introduced choice, and for that, they marked me for deletion. He looked at me, his eyes like twin voids. You are my last hope. The only soul corrupted enough to defy the core rules. Shuelian stirred beside me, awake now. What's this final command? The architect raised a finger. Command, override. It allows you to break a law of the universe. One time. One law. Any law. I felt my breath catch. Shuelian's lips tightened. That's too dangerous. He nodded. Exactly why the system buried it. Even I can no longer use it. I asked, then how do I learn it? The architect extended his hand and a burning script appeared in midair. Training protocol, system override, warning, high risk of soul fragmentation. To learn the command, he said, you must confront your own origin. The lie that the system built into you. Enter the root directory of your soul. And see what they buried there. System dive, root directory. With a deep breath, I accepted the prompt. System dive initiated. Entering user Luo Chen, root memory partition. Darkness. Silence. Then, a flicker of light. I saw a lab. I saw celestial researchers. I saw a blank soul in a tank, me. Not born. Created. Lines of code embedded into my spirit. Subject name, Luo Chen. Designation, Emergency Backup Glitch Entity, Experiment Number 3. Failsafe command, erase self if system override triggered. I staggered. I'm not even real? The moment I spoke that thought aloud, pain lanced through my head. Self-deletion directive detected. Overriding emotional stability. No, I growled. Not this time. I slammed my hands against the mental barrier. Executing rewrite. Core shard 1 plus 2 sync, 97%, partial override command authorized. I spoke the forbidden word. Override. The soul cage shattered. And suddenly, everything went white hot. I floated outside time. Outside existence. And a voice, my voice, distorted, spoke to me from all directions. You are no longer a bug. You are the next update. Reboot everything. Reality, architect's safe house. I woke up screaming. Lin Yuyan was holding me down, eyes wide. You were convulsing for 5 minutes. What the hell happened? I coughed. My hands smoked with residual code burn. System override command acquired, limited use, 1. Shuelian stared at me. You did it. The architect smiled faintly. Then my job is done. He began to fade, like static being erased from a screen. The rest is up to you. And then he was gone. We stood in silence. Then Lin said, "What now?" I looked up. The sky outside the safe house shimmered, flickering like it was about to collapse. Warning, Divine Patch Squad has located your position. ETA, 3 hours. I tightened my fists. We make our stand. Because now? I had the power to rewrite a rule of the world. And I was going to use it. The sky cracked like glass under divine pressure. They were coming. And this time, they weren't sending vanguards. Full system patch protocol initiated. Divine Patch Squad, Alpha deployment. Units, Heaven's Silence, repaired, Blade of Purity, purged, Code Reaver, enhanced. +1 unknown unit, authority level, root. Estimated arrival, 2 hours and 31 minutes. I had 2.5 hours to prepare for war. No reinforcements. No escape routes. Just us. Me, the override command, and the weight of one broken world. We stood in the architect's collapsing safehouse, a reality stitched together by hope and forbidden code. Lin Yuyan leaned on her staff. What's the plan? Override command, I said. I can use it once. One law. One change. Schwelian frowned. But which law? You could nullify their immortality. Or delete their weapons. Or force them into human bodies. I shook my head. No. Those are surface problems. What are you thinking? Lin asked. I looked at them. I'll break the law that powers must obey system hierarchy. That stunned even Schwelian. If you do that, she said slowly, anyone, even a mortal, could theoretically resist divine orders. I nodded. Exactly. And more importantly, the patch squad won't be able to force a reset. The override ritual was simple in design. Complex in cost. I stood in a glyph circle created from my core shards, architect fragments, and Lin's soul-stitched talismans. The system screamed as I reached into its roots. Override mode initiated. Target law, obedience to system authority. Command rewrite, deny, absolute rejection of system hierarchy. Warning, irreversible. Warning, system collapse probability, 47%. Confirm? My hands trembled. Then I remembered the tank. The false memories. The faces of the patch squad as they looked at me like code, not a person. I spoke the word again. Override. The entire realm trembled. Chains wrapped around the sky shattered. All across the continent, cultivators who were once bound by oaths to the heavens felt their chains break. System slave sects froze mid-chant as their divine scripts burned away. And somewhere far above, a voice, cold, ancient, mechanical, screamed. Error. Error. Root law violation detected. System authority level reduced, 43%, 27%. The override was complete. We had flipped the table. But we'd also drawn attention. The sky split. And from the tear descended the final patch squad member. She was different. She didn't shimmer with system light or wield code-infused weapons. She wore white robes embroidered with starlight and had no face, just a blank mask. Unit, null protocol, authority class, root. Command, restore hierarchy. Erase glitch entity. Rewrite the world. The air around her distorted like she was rewriting space just by existing. I stepped forward. No more resets, I said. You're just another program pretending to be God. Incorrect, she said. I am the last will of the system. She raised her hand. The others stepped in to shield me, Schwelian unleashing hellfire, Lin throwing talismans that exploded like suns. None of it mattered. Null protocol moved once. And they both fell, not dead, but deleted. Removed from time. My system screamed. Allies disconnected from local reality. Rollback imminent. I gritted my teeth. The override was done. But this? This was personal. Then I'll break one more law, I whispered. Even if I have to become a system myself. I leapt. Core shards blazing. Soul unraveling. Time cracking. I had fought cultivators, monsters, even divine enforcers. But this was different. This was war against the operating will of the system itself. Null protocol hovered above me, cloaked in serenity, emotionless, formless, absolute. Unit status, immutable. Type, authority root directive. Command, reconstruct obedience hierarchy, start with Chen. My override command had already been spent. Now. I was fighting with nothing but broken shards and stubborn will. I charged. She didn't move. The space between us folded, and suddenly I was suspended in an infinite plane of code, frozen mid-breath. System freeze applied. Soul execution countdown, 3, 2, 1. But something sparked in my core. Glitch detected, re-injecting soul signal. Error, soul format not recognized. Bypassing authority. The core shards pulsed and I moved inside the freeze. Broke through the execution code. I struck null protocol across her faceless mask. She didn't stagger. But I saw it, a flicker. A data spike. Something registered. You're not perfect, I said, panting. You're just an obedient dog with a god complex. She replied, obedience sustains order. You are a corruption. She extended both arms and launched recompile blades that slashed through reality itself. I dodged. Barely. My arm was hit, gone. Not bleeding. Just deleted. System integrity, 43%. Reality sync, failing. I dived into the data space behind her where lines of law and command streamed like rivers of light. And I did what I do best. I glitched. Activating, soul patch, ghost fragment of the architect. Temporary boost, conceptual mimicry, copy system behavior for 33 seconds. I raised my own hand, mirroring null protocol stance. And her own attack code. Reflected. Blades of deletion struck her body. For the first time. Protocol interrupted. Error. Source identity conflict. Cannot parse attacker. She staggered. Didn't expect the glitch to learn, I snarled. She replied coldly. Then I will erase your learning curve. Suddenly. Emergency directive, system reset protocol initiated. The sky turned red. The world bent into a swirling spiral of data, as if reality itself was being undone. And the worst part? This protocol has no cancel option. Not even override could stop it now. In the distance, I heard voices. Shuelian's flame echo. Lin Yuyan's talisman resonance. They weren't dead. They were outside time, caught between resets. And I realized. Null didn't just erase them. She quarantined them. If I wanted to bring them back, I had to beat her. In her domain. The final seconds began ticking. System reset, 30. 29. 28. I closed my eyes. And fell inward. Back into the root. Back into the code. I wasn't born like others. I was written. So maybe I could rewrite myself. Injecting command, create subsystem. Subsystem created, Chen, recursive entity. Permission level, unknown. Identity, self-defined. I rewrote my existence to be recursive. If the system deleted me, I'd reboot again and again. Even if it took forever. Chen, status, glitch seed confirmed. Deletion rejected. I opened my eyes. And laughed. You made me. But you don't control me anymore. Null protocol's blank mask cracked. And she raised both hands for a final blow. I leapt through time. Soul fragmentation level, 87%. And hit her center with all I had. A blast of glitched fire, corrupted law, and pure defiance exploded between us. The world went white. When I woke up, the sky was blue. The safe house, gone. The patch squad, nowhere. But beside me, lying on the grass, Shuelian and Lin Yuyan. Alive. Returned. And my system? Silent. For the first time since this all began. But I could still feel the core shards. Still feel the third shard, somewhere deep below this world. Waiting. And so I stood. Arc 2 complete. Core shards collected, 2/3. Next destination, the glitch realm, forbidden layer below reality. Time to finish what we started, I said. We descended into the place never meant to be accessed. Not a realm. Not a dimension. But a dumping ground where failed concepts, forbidden powers, and erased souls were discarded. The glitch realm. Shuelian looked uneasy. Lin Yuyan gripped her talismans tighter than ever. Neither of them spoke much. The silence said everything. Even the system seemed afraid to function here. Warning: no active system support detected. All protocols suspended. Status: raw mode. The rules didn't apply here. We were beneath them. We passed echoes of things that should not exist. A sword that cut destiny instead of flesh. A tree whose fruits screamed with memories of erased timelines. And shadows, oh, the shadows. They watched, but never moved. Until we reached the center. There, floating over an abyss of broken laws, was the third and final core shard. It pulsed, not like light, but like a heartbeat. Alive. Core shard detected, type, origin. Accessing fragment data. The world blinked. Suddenly, I was alone. In a white void. A mirror appeared. I looked into it and saw not myself, but every version of me that had ever been rejected by the system. Some were monsters. Some were cowards. Some were gods. And one, just one, was calm. He stepped out of the mirror. And spoke. I am the original. The Luo Chen who was never allowed to exist. The one who said no from the very start. I froze. You're the base code. Yes. And you are the update that broke free. He looked at the shard, hovering behind him. To claim this, you must do what no glitch has ever done. Not rebel. Not rewrite. But choose to merge. With me. I hesitated. Every instinct screamed that merging meant losing myself. But deep down I knew the truth. Without the original, I was incomplete. A patch, a bug, a symptom. And if I didn't claim the final shard, the system would rebuild, stronger. Smarter. And next time? It would wipe out all evidence I'd ever lived. I stepped forward. And said. Then let's finish this. We collided. Pain. Fire. Memory. Deletion. Rebirth. System shock detected. Core shard integration, 100%. Title unlocked, glitch sovereign. All access permissions, temporary grant, full root override for 3 minutes. I woke in the real world. Lin and Shualian were shaking me. The realm trembled. Above us reality twisted, forming a single golden eye. The creator of the system had noticed. Root alert, entity Luochen exceeds authority threshold. Initiating origin wipe in 180 seconds. So this was it. One last shot. 3 minutes of ultimate access. Then either the heavens reset everything, or I deleted the system itself. Let's go, I said. Let's end this. Root override, 2 minutes and 59 seconds remaining. Everything, every law, command, and divine thread that once held the world together lay exposed to me. I saw the code beneath reality. And it was beautiful. But also horrifying. The system didn't just manage cultivation techniques or maintain heavenly order. It edited fate. It rewrote personalities. It erased people who resisted balance and replaced them with cleaner, more obedient versions. I saw entire sects that had been reset hundreds of times, never knowing they were reliving manufactured destinies. Even Lin Yuyen had lived 5 different lifetimes. Each time, altered slightly to make her more loyal to the system. I clenched my fists. I'm not here to maintain your balance, I growled into the void. I'm here to destroy your illusion. Override access, root layer permissions, granted. Available actions, delete subsystems, recode global laws, restore purged entities, access creator channel. I wasted no time. First, I targeted the purged entities archive. Inside, floating like forgotten files, were echoes, souls of those who had been deleted for stepping out of line. And I restored them all. Restore command executed, 1,437,991 entities recovered. Some were ancient cultivators. Some were innocent mortals. Some were the creators of art, thought, or rebellion. And then, two names caught my attention. Entity, Lu Tianming, former system architect. Entity, Yen Xiao, forbidden memory keeper. I hit restore. And the void shuddered. As I exited the codespace, the world cracked again. A gate of golden light tore across the sky. From it stepped a figure wrapped in white flame. His body was made of code. His face was carved from absolute logic. Luo Chen, he spoke. Not loud. But every living being heard it. You have touched the root. You have trespassed upon the sacred foundation of the universe. You will now be cleansed. Entity, the creator, heaven.exe. Authority level, God class. I smirked. You should have deleted me when I was still a bug. He raised his hand, and the sun bent to his will, turning into a spear of absolute law. Before it struck, I rewrote the atmosphere. Command injected, sun equals illusion. The weapon shattered into starlight. Gasps echoed across the realms. People saw it. For the first time, they realized their world was not what it seemed. And the creator? He frowned. So you wish to unmask the truth? Fine. Then let all witness what their precious reality truly is. The sky dissolved. Not turned dark, dissolved, like pixels breaking apart. And behind it? A vast control panel of flowing laws, scripts, and authority nodes. We were no longer in the heavens. We were inside the true system core. Final arena loaded, root access battlefield. Override countdown, 1 minute and 18 seconds. I turned to Lin and Shui. This is it. The final layer. They both nodded. Lin's eyes burned with fire. Shui's sword gleamed with her soul. I summoned the 3 shards, now fused into a glowing core pulsing in my chest. The creator raised his hands. I raised mine. And the war began. Root arena stabilized. Remaining override time, 1 minute and 17 seconds. The battlefield wasn't made of stone or sky. It was made of concepts. One step was time. The next was wait. Breathing became a law you had to remember to enable. Each second could stretch or collapse depending on who willed it stronger. And across from me stood the creator. He didn't shout or rage. He didn't hurl fire or thunder. He just looked. And reality obeyed. You seek to destroy the order we built, he said. Do you know what comes after that? Freedom, I spat. Chaos. He waved a finger and the concept of identity vanished. Suddenly, I couldn't remember who I was. Where I came from. Even my name. But then. Override anchor, soul fragment, Luo Chen, verified. Identity lock engaged. My memory returned in a heartbeat. Nice trick, I smirked. Wanna see mine? I pointed at him. Injected law, creator equals visible code. The creator flickered, his divine glow dropping for a moment. Now I could see the strings behind his every action. Even his hesitation. That's when Lin Yuyan struck. She hurled a talisman that didn't explode, it erased the logic behind his movement. Shuelian followed with a sword strike built from unwritten karma, an attack that was never recorded in the system, and so couldn't be defended. They struck. And for the first time, the creator bled. Not red, but white code. So, he said softly. You've learned to write your own truths. He raised both hands. System reboot mode, activated. All users will be reset to 0, including root anomalies. My system screamed. Alert, override authority expiring in 35 seconds. Not enough time to stop the reboot directly. Unless. I dove deeper into the root, my soul dragging me through layers of blinding code. I found it. The original memory chain. A place where every system decision, error, rollback, and purge had been stored. I grabbed one. A memory of the creator standing over another me. Younger, innocent, and choosing to delete me for refusing to join the system. You were scared, I whispered. Not of me, but of what I could choose. Choice is the one thing you can't calculate. Injected command, creator equals bound by original choice. The system locked him. He froze, eyes wide, as the memory chain dragged him down. No, he said. You don't understand. If I'm bound by that, if the system obeys that choice, then it means it always could have let us go. And it didn't. Root reaction, acceptance of original choice, chain updated. System authority collapsing. 78%, 52%, 33%. The battlefield quaked. Override ending in midnight, ***. Final command locking. The creator fell to one knee. His light dimmed. And the system? It didn't fight anymore. It waited. I turned to the core, pulsing above us like a dying sun. All that was left was a choice. Delete the system. Or rewrite it. Lin spoke softly. You could make a perfect world. Shuelian, or you could erase it all. I looked at my hands. And smiled. No gods. No scripts. No resets. Let them choose. Final command, release all control. Grant world free will. Root command accepted. System core deactivated. The light faded. The code dissolved. The heavens were gone. All that was left was a world finally alive. The sky was quiet. For the first time in recorded history, there was no divine will, no enforcement scripts, no golden decrees raining down from the heavens. And yet, chaos did not erupt. Not immediately. Instead, people looked up, blinked, and almost fearfully breathed. They didn't know why the pressure above them had disappeared. But they felt it. I stood with Lin Yuyan and Shuelian on a shattered peak overlooking the Jade Realm. All around us, cultivators were waking up from centuries of unconscious conditioning. Some cried. Some screamed. Some simply knelt, unable to process the weight that had been lifted from their souls. Is this freedom? Lin asked quietly. It's the beginning of it, I said. But it's not over. Because already, new dangers were rising. Across the realm, once forbidden techniques were resurfacing. Sword saints once erased for being too unstable returned from oblivion. Demonic cultivators, now unbound by suppression laws, emerged from their seals with centuries of hatred. Heavenly clans, no longer held in check by system fairness protocols, began rallying armies to restore their order. And worst of all? A name began to spread. The glitch god. Me. Not everyone saw me as a savior. To many, I was the one who broke their world. And they wanted it back. You see what's happening? Shuelian said. You removed the system. But you didn't remove people's hunger for power. I nodded. I knew it wouldn't end with one command. Lin looked at me. So what now? I turned to them both. Now we build something better. Not with control, but with truth. And we protect those who never had a choice. We return to the central realm, once known as the heavenly capital. It was burning. 3 major sects had already declared war over who should control the divine resource wells the system once distributed fairly. I stepped into the chaos. And they saw me. One of the sect leaders pointed. That's him. Chen. The one who destroyed heaven. Get him. But I didn't run. I raised my hand. And from within me, the core shards pulsed one last time, not as a system, but as a memory. And I projected it into the minds of every being watching. The truth. The false heavens. The resets. The purges. The stolen lives. The rewritten memories. Everything. I showed them what the world really had been. When it ended, some dropped their weapons. Others fell to their knees. And a few? They looked me in the eye. And swore vengeance. So, I muttered. Even with the truth, people still choose. And maybe that's what freedom really was. Not peace. Not power. But the right to make your own mistakes. Even if it breaks the world again. Then I'll stand here, I said. Between the past and the future. And if anyone wants to bring back chains, they'll have to go through me. With the system gone, its prison walls cracked open. And from the dark? They came back. Not demons. Not devils. Dreamers. Cultivators who had once ascended beyond mortality, but were deemed unstable or incompatible with system balance. They had been sealed away, not killed, just paused. Buried beneath layers of divine silence. Now they were waking up. And they were angry. The first appeared in the northern wastes. An empress once crowned the architect of reality. Her power had allowed her to reshape entire provinces with a thought. But the system didn't allow reshapers. So it locked her in eternal sleep. She awoke screaming. And turned half a continent into glass. The second emerged from the endless abyss. He was only known as the nameless disciple. Every record of him had been deleted. But the system hadn't deleted his soul. It had merely trapped it in an endless loop of failure. Now, freed, he rose. And claimed the title of He Who Remembers. His mind shattered. His power absolute. They weren't villains. They were victims. But now, with their chains broken, they no longer knew how to stop themselves. And the world? It wasn't ready. It's getting worse, Lin Yuyan said, standing beside me as we watched the sky above the southern range burn crimson. The stronger the soul, the more damage it causes when it breaks free. And the more they resent the world that forgot them, Shuelian added. I nodded. They don't want justice. They want to be remembered. To be seen. So show them, I said. Let's give the world back its forgotten legends. That day, we formed the Order of the Unwritten. A new sect. Not bound by cultivation ranks. Not based on bloodlines. But on one principle. Every soul has the right to be free and to be known. We traveled, realm by realm. Finding broken dreamers. Not to fight them. But to talk to them. To remind them of who they were before the system erased them. Some we calmed. Some we couldn't. And some joined us. The architect of reality. The nameless disciple. Even a few old monsters, once called villains, now stood at our side. But with every ally gained, new enemies rose. Because power, unbound by the system, spreads like wildfire. And the ambitious? They saw a world without gods. As an opportunity. At the edge of the shattered divine plane, a voice whispered. The system is gone. The prisons are open. And soon, the true kings will return. A blood-stained hand reached from the void. Let chaos be crowned. They wore no armor. No sect banners. No cultivation robes. Only madness. Twisted patterns carved into their skin like scriptures of a dead religion. Their eyes shimmered, not with chi, but with raw instability, like broken mirrors reflecting fractured truths. They called themselves the Crowned Chaos. And they didn't seek power. They sought collapse. Their leader was a woman with 6 mouths and no face. We were not born mad, she said as she stood atop the ruins of the Eastern Sanctum. We were made this way by order, by balance, by a world too afraid to dream. Behind her, the sky turned sideways. Not metaphorically. Literally. The laws of physics peeled like torn parchment. Birds flew backward. Fire froze. Time stuttered and whimpered like a frightened animal. She's unraveling reality, I said, shielding Lin and Shui with a command field. No. She's showing what lies behind it, Shui muttered, sword clenched. They were sealed for a reason, Lin whispered. The system didn't just suppress them. It protected us from this. But I shook my head. No, the system created this. And that was the truth no one wanted to accept. The crowned chaos weren't evil. They were cracked reflections of a perfect machine. Flaws the system couldn't fix, so it buried them. And now, with no divine firewall, the flaws were spreading. They didn't attack cities for resources. They struck at stability. Scriptures rewritten to loop endlessly. Formation arrays infected with recursion, burning out minds. Cults formed overnight around chaos fragments, objects that radiated broken cause and effect. In one village, children aged backward until they were never born. In another, a river flowed with memories instead of water. How do you fight an idea? Lin asked. You overwrite it, I answered grimly. I entered the fracture fields alone. Where reality itself screamed. I didn't walk. I thought myself forward. Until I found her. The faceless queen. Her 6 mouths smiled. Glitch God, she rasped. How divine you must feel. To free the world, only to realize freedom breeds its own monsters. Better monsters than masters, I replied. Yet you cling to control. You form sections. You write truths. You still fear what can't be known. No, I said. I don't fear the unknown. I just refuse to let it consume the innocent. And then I raised my hand. Injected concept, anchor of meaning, zone stabilization initiated. A dome of stabilized logic surged outward. The ground stopped shifting. The sky froze back into place. But she laughed, all 6 mouths cackling. Your anchors won't last forever. We are the natural consequence of your freedom. Then I'll bear it, I said. Because it's better than a world where no one chooses. She faded, not defeated but intrigued. And as the dome held for a little while longer, I knew. This wasn't a war I could win with strength. This was a battle of ideas. You'd think, after defeating gods, rewriting systems, and standing toe-to-toe with madness itself, people would rest. But the truth? Freedom is exhausting. Without heaven's decree, the world drifted like a ship without a compass. Cultivators fought over techniques that no longer had limitations. Cities collapsed under their own weight, unsure whether gravity would hold tomorrow. That's why we built the first anchor city. A haven of stabilized reality. We called it Jinyuan, True Origin. No sect ruled it. No divine script wrote its laws. We anchored it using a hybrid of my root fragments, Lin's purification talismans, and Shui's karmic blade essence. A city where cause still led to effect. Where logic still applied. Where people could breathe, walk, farm, dream, without losing their minds. The first night, over 5,000 refugees arrived. By the end of the week, it was 30,000. Not just cultivators. Mortals. Wandering artisans. Children born after the system fell. They didn't want power. They just wanted somewhere safe. But peace is a flame. And chaos? It is the wind. Rumors began to spread. That anchor cities were traps, pockets of illusion where the glitch god was secretly rebuilding a new system. That we hadn't freed the world, only changed the branding. That if you stayed too long inside an anchor zone, your soul became his. They're scared, Lin Yuyan said as we watched protesters burn talisman wards at the western gate. They're angry, Shuelian corrected. At the world. At themselves. But you're the one they can see. And maybe I deserve it, I muttered. Because deep down, I understood. When you take away the chains, people don't always thank you. Some want them back. Because chains are simple. Then came the message. scrawled across the sky in burning, inverted script. There is no stability. There never was. Your anchors are lies. And beneath it, cities began to fracture. Anchor zones flickered. Scripted beasts, once kept sealed by system logic, emerged from thin air. Phantom cultivators, once deleted by divine culling, phased into existence with their sanity shattered. The crowned chaos had evolved. They no longer needed to unmake anchors. They could corrupt them. We fought for Jinyuan like wolves defending a dying moon. I used every last sliver of root authority to hold the dome stable. Lin etched talismans so rapidly her fingers bled. Shui stood at the front lines, cutting down twisted concepts that bled paradox instead of blood. And in the center? A girl. No older than 10. Staring up at me. Is it true, she asked, that you were a god? That you broke the sky? I knelt beside her. I wasn't a god. I was just someone who didn't want to be told what to be. And what are you now? I paused. Then smiled. Still figuring that out. We held the city. But only barely. And I knew. If we wanted to survive, we needed more than anchors. We needed hope. Legends spoke of it in hushed tones. A place older than the heavens. Older than the system. Before chi was refined into ranks. Before meridians were mapped. Before cultivation was even called cultivation. They called it the first world. A myth, they said. A lie, others believed. But I had seen a fragment hidden deep in the root's final memory shard. A place where power wasn't processed. It was understood. And if I wanted to save the anchor cities, I had to find it. We traveled far beyond the known realms. Past the shattered borders where divine enforcement once guarded forbidden space. To a dead zone, where chi refused to flow, and even sound moved sluggishly. It was like walking through the skeleton of a forgotten god. And at the heart of it, buried beneath mountains shaped like crumbling memory. We found it. A library. Built from breath itself. No bricks. Just stories. Floating in layers of mist. This is knowledge before logic, Lin whispered, awed. It feels like the world is listening, Shui muttered. It was. Inside, the manuals didn't use words. They used intent. You didn't read them. You felt them. One taught you how to fold a punch around a thought. Another showed how to shift time, not by technique, but by refusing to move forward. They weren't techniques. They were philosophies given shape. And I saw it clearly. This was cultivation before it was tamed. Before it was standardized. Before the system repackaged power into manageable levels and ranks. This was truth. I took one scroll. Just one. And as soon as I did, the library stirred. Not in anger. But in recognition. You are the one who broke the order, a voice whispered. You are the one who seeks to rewrite nothing. Then the mist parted. And something stepped forward. Not a beast. Not a man. Just a presence. It wore no shape, yet its weight pressed against my bones. It didn't attack. It didn't threaten. It simply asked. Why do you want to save the world? I thought about it. About the people I'd failed. The cities I'd tried to protect. The madness I'd unleashed by removing the rules. And then I answered. Because I broke it. Because no one else will. Because even if I'm wrong, at least it'll be my mistake, not one written by a machine pretending to be fate. The presence was silent. Then it spoke. Then take what you will. But know this: every truth you learn comes with a price. Will you bear it? I looked it dead in its non-existent eyes. I already am. The scroll in my hand ignited, not burning, but unfolding into my thoughts. My root pulsed, reshaped, evolved. This wasn't a system update. This was a rebirth. And when I stepped out of the First World Library, I didn't just walk back as Luo Chen. I walked back as something new. Something that could finally contend with chaos, not suppress it, but comprehend it. When I returned to Jinyuan, the sky had changed. Not shattered, segmented. The anchor cities had survived the surge of chaos. But now, they were at war with each other. Each one believed it had found the correct path to preserve reality. Some clung to formation theory, using layers of ancient logic to filter truth. Others turned to emotional resonance, building rules based on collective belief, faith as law. And a few began enforcing stability taxes, stealing chi from weaker sects to sustain their own zones. This wasn't what we built, Lin Yuyan whispered. They're just building new systems, Shuilian said bitterly. New chains, I muttered. Shiny and self-righteous. That was the danger of breaking heaven. Everyone thinks they should be the one to replace it. I stood before the council of the anchor cities. 8 leaders, each representing a surviving zone. Order must be maintained, said Grand Elder Shun. We cannot survive unless there is structure. You mean your structure, I said. And what do you propose, he sneered. More chaos? I stepped forward, holding nothing. No scroll. No sword. Not even my system. Just a pulse of pure intent. And I showed them. The concept unfolded in the air, a cultivation path with no ranks, no bottlenecks, no standardized breakthroughs. Just understanding. Growth through insight. Power through authenticity. This is madness, a sect head spat. You're teaching heresy. No, I said. I'm teaching freedom. Again. I raised my hand and the ground beneath me shifted into truth resonance. A low-level cultivator in the crowd, barely chi condensation, stepped forward. I let the concept flow into him. And before their eyes, he awakened. Not with violent breakthroughs or flashing realms, but with a quiet power that settled into his core like a lifelong memory finally remembered. What is this? The old elder gasped. The pathless path, I said. A way forward, without control. And suddenly, the war wasn't between order and chaos anymore. It was between the old and the new. Between those who feared a world they couldn't define. And those ready to walk forward without a map. But movements attract enemies. The crowned chaos watched. And they were interested. Not angry. Not hostile. Just amused. Because to them, a world without structure was still a world they could bend. Even your truth, the faceless queen whispered from the void, is just another song we can remix. I narrowed my eyes. Then I'll teach the world to sing back. And across the realms, for the first time in millennia, cultivators started cultivating not toward power, but toward understanding. It always starts the same way. A whisper. A doubt. A voice that says, you could lead better than him. His name was Ji Han. Former strategist of Anchor City Qinghuan. Brilliant, calculating, always the most reasonable in the council chambers. He had supported me. He had praised the pathless path. He had walked it. And then he sold it. To the crowned chaos. They found him in the ruins of an old anchoring dome, surrounded by fractal script that shouldn't exist in this world. You don't understand, Luo Chen, he told me when I confronted him. The pathless path is a beautiful idea, too beautiful. But people aren't ready for it. They need a bridge. And you think chaos is that bridge? No. I think control of chaos is. He smiled. I made a deal with the queen. We corrupt 5 anchors, she lets the others stand. We compromise. That's what stability is. My heart sank. You think madness can be negotiated with? Not madness, evolution. She's adapting faster than any of us. You think your philosophy can win over that? It already has. You're just too scared to believe in it. He walked away. Not defeated. Not shamed. Just convinced he was right. And I realized. The real war wasn't between chaos and order. It was between faith and fear. The corrupted anchors began to spread faster. Not like viruses. Like stories. Tales of anchor cities where anything was possible. Where dreams came to life and death was optional. Where logic bent for desire and pain turned to art. People left safe zones in droves, chasing those lies. Some found power. Most found madness. I stood at the center of Jinyuan and lit the sky lantern of clarity, a concept-based signal flare. It pulsed across realms, broadcasting a thought into every cultivator's mind. Ask not what your path gives you. Ask what you've become walking it. Thousands heard it. Some dismissed it. But others paused. And in that pause, truth had space to bloom. Meanwhile, Shui tracked Jihan's movements. He was preparing to merge a corrupted anchor with a fragment of the first world, hoping to create a synthetic stability, a hybrid zone where chaos and control coexisted under his rule. He doesn't want to destroy the world, Lin said, tracing the flow of energy through her jade compass. He wants to own the next one, I answered. And that was worse. We set out that night, passing through mirror voids and broken leyline scars. Toward the cradle of rewrite, the place where Jihan planned to reshape reality itself. Luo Chen, Shui said quietly as we traveled, if you had the chance to build a perfect system again, would you? I looked at her. And said the truth. No. I'm done writing cages. Even golden ones. But Jihan was still writing his. And if he succeeded? The world would trade one prison for another. The cradle of rewrite was unlike anything the world had ever seen. Not forged, not built, grown. A living construct of paradox steel and crystallized thought, hovering in the tear between dimensions where heaven's control once ran its deepest. The center pulsed with dual cores. One, an anchor crystal, steady, familiar, humming with structure. The other, a chaos seed unbound, shimmering with infinite possibility. Between them stood Jihan, arms raised, script spiraling from his body. Welcome, Luo Chen, he said, voice calm, almost kind. You came to stop me, didn't you? You know why I'm here. Then let me show you the future. He activated the rewrite engine. Reality shifted. Not crumbled. Not exploded. Adjusted. I blinked and suddenly, I was in a world that made too much sense. Cities of perfect harmony. Cultivators reaching their full potential with zero resistance. No pain. No failure. No chaos. Just endless, measured growth. Beautiful, isn't it? Jihan whispered beside me. A world without randomness. Without collapse. A world without choice, I said. Choice is overrated. The strong always choose. The weak always suffer. This balances the scale. You didn't build peace, I said slowly. You built a factory. I activated my root. The world around us began to glitch. The illusion peeled back, pixel by pixel, thought by thought. The real cradle reappeared unstable, trembling under the weight of two incompatible concepts. I stepped forward. You wanted compromise. I want truth. Then take it. Jihan roared, drawing his blade half formation script, half chaos glyph. And we fought. Not just with weapons. With ideals. He struck with balance. Predictable. Precise. I countered with insight. Irrational. Unwritten. He forced repetition. I embraced evolution. With each clash, our beliefs clashed too. His attacks rewrote the field, correct the flaw. Close the loop. Mine fractured logic itself, let the wound breathe. Let the path wander. In the final moment, I struck his core not with power. With understanding. I showed him what his perfect world would become. A realm where no one failed, yes. But also a realm where no one grew. Stagnant peace. Sterile power. Dead dreams. He fell to his knees. Tears streaming not from pain, but from clarity. I just wanted to fix it. I know, I said, placing my hand over the dual-core engine. So do I. Then I made my choice. I did not destroy the engine. I did not seize it. I rewrote it. Not to control the world, but to return the pen to the people. A wave of energy pulsed out, not of order, not of chaos, but of permission. Across the realms, cultivators felt the shift. There was no system. No interface. No decree. Just one silent message carried on the wind. The world is yours again. Walk it as you will. The cradle vanished. Jihan disappeared into exile, his name erased from systems, but not from memory. Anchor cities stabilized, not because of scripts or seals, but because people believed in themselves again. And I? I didn't become a god. I became a man who let go. There were no monuments. No sects built in his name. No statues carved, no scriptures left behind. And yet, everyone knew the name Luo Chen. Not because he ruled, but because he refused to. In the years after the cradle collapsed and the rewrite engine vanished, the world changed slowly, and then all at once. Anchor cities became communities, not power centers. Cultivators stopped chasing golden cores or titles. Some flew. Others walked. A few simply breathed. For the first time in history, people cultivated not to rise, but to understand. And those who couldn't feel qi? They found worth anyway. Because Luo Chen had given the world choice again. Many searched for him. They say he was seen meditating on a cloud in the northern peaks. Or planting rice beside a waterfall where words lost meaning. Some say he became a breeze that whispered truths into sleeping minds. Others claim he returned to the first world, not as a student, but as a guide. But the truth? No one ever really found him. And no one had to. Because Luo Chen had already left behind everything that mattered. Not a technique. Not a sword. But a simple thought etched into the memory of the world. You are not your realm. You are not your rank. You are not what the world demands of you. You are what you choose to understand. Generations passed. Then centuries. But in every quiet temple, every humble field, every chaotic battlefield where someone paused and asked themselves, why am I walking this path? They walked with him. Even if they never knew his name. And that is how a glitch in the heavenly system became the code that set the world free.